The Sony A55 SLT camera. Now, I had a Sony A55 camera that I use and I bought on eBay. It is for sure the best bang for buck camera you can purchase, DSLR. If you're a starter and you want a feature packed camera, DSLR, I would definitely get an A55 Sony. The only problem I didn't like about it, and here's my major gripe: if it wasn't for this one thing, or maybe two things, I wouldn't have gotten a Canon. The one thing is that it overheats, right? It overheats when you're doing video, especially when you have image stabilization on. So if you have image stabilization on, you can barely get 2 to 5 minute recordings. If it's cold outside or it's cool weather, you can record for a while. But if it's hot, it's going to overheat very quickly, and then you can't even take pictures. You have to shut it off, wait for a moment, or it'll automatically shut off on its own, and you're going to have to wait for a moment, right? The next thing also is that the way the screen articulates, it articulates on the bottom. And that's sort of annoying because then you can't see yourself if you're trying to do like a selfie type video like I am right now. I'm using a webcam, but second, the reason why I'm not using my Canon is because it's much more convenient for me to set up my microphone here and then talk and then just upload to YouTube. So if you're curious, but then the Sony A55 is great for taking pictures. I've taken many great pictures with it. With my kids, it's a fast camera, it has 10 frames per second if you put it on that setting. But if you don't have it on that setting, it's still quite a fast camera. I mean, if you are kind of new to DSLRs, I don't know why you wouldn't get one unless you have a friend that's into Canon or Nikon, and then they'll just basically uh, swindle you or tell you they're buying. Because it's funny, because I'm not really that into, like, I'm into tech, but I don't. But then there's apparently there's a rivalry between Nikon and Canon users, and they're just like, oh, it's all about Canon, right? And I don't give a shit. It's just more like what I'm comfortable with, what I like. And I'll tell you right now, when it comes to the Sony A55, it's the best bang for buck camera you can purchase because it has video, 1080 video, has 60 frames per second. You can change different things. There's a lot of different things that are great about it. So for value, you can get one on eBay. Like I sold mine for like $350 on eBay, and that's pretty cheap. I mean, a feature packed camera for like $350, that's no tax, right? Or you can probably get it for 300 if you just wait and you look for a good deal. Now the camera I upgraded to was a Canon T4i, and one of the major reasons why I upgraded to it in the first place was because it's better at handling video. You can record 30-minute clips. It was a lot of people use it for video. A lot of the YouTubers I follow use the Canon the T4i, or they use the 60D, or they use the 6D, I think it is. And of course the Mark III, the Mark 5D, the full frame cameras. But my point is that I got the T4i because it does 30 minutes of video. It was sort of built for video in mind for people that wanted a camcorder replacement. But if you're thinking about using a DSLR as a camcorder, I'm telling you right now, you're in for a surprise. It is very challenging. You have to be pretty ambitious to learn fiddle with all the controls, mess with the lighting. Now, once you get the hang of it, it's great, but there's a learning curve. So if you don't have the time to figure it out, you're definitely going to run into some problems. So you have to be ambitious, and just the stuff you have to enjoy. Because if you don't like fucking around with the camera, I don't know why you'd get a DSLR. You really have to. It has to be basically kind of a little bit of a hobby, something you really really enjoy. Especially when it comes to video, because video is a bitch and a half. I bought a course. If you're looking for a good course on a camera, David Dugdale, I think his name is. He has this great course on T4i. Fucking does great. If you even looking on YouTube, he has great videos on how to use other cameras. But his course is fantastic, and I need to go watch it right now actually because I'm only halfway through it. The other thing too that about the Sony A55 is that the Sony A55 is very. It has autofocus, like autofocus for video. That's the fucking problem with it. It's autofocus. It's the only camera that's under $400, under $500. You know, with a full kit and everything, right? That can do autofocus while doing video. Can't do that with the Canon. They're all like $600 or more. I got mine at a deal because I bought on eBay. So it's kind of like, I was deal hunting. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do. The Sony was pretty cool because it was small. It was smaller than other DSLRs. That was another cool thing for us. For me to transition from like a pocket camera or an iPhone, it was nice to hold because it wasn't very heavy. What else can I say about the Sony A55? Some cons. Like the grip would kind of wear down a little bit. I didn't like that so much. What else was there? It has a digital display that's It's not touchscreen. Well, I guess that's all I had to say about it. So if you're looking for like a good camcorder, more like a DSLR, A55 is a good choice, but it just depends on your purposes. Understand that you got to know what your reasons are and what your purposes is, so that way you can decide for yourself, like if it's going to be the right camera for you. If you have a question, please feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching.